Hi everyone, we are Ria, Bernice, Jayee and Suhaina. Today, we'll be talking about whether John and Kimberly can retire comfortably at the age of 55. This is some of the context of what we're going to be talking about in the video today.
He took a junior college route as his tertiary education. Eventually, he will get promoted every 3 to 4 years until he reaches a senior vice president role in his occupation, which is investment banking analyst in JP Morgan's. In the second year, he will start getting performance bonuses annually until the age of 55, as he's a workaholic and has a high salary, working close to 100 hours per week. For the first few years of his career, his performance bonus was extremely high, as he was the employee of the month for consecutive months. As for where he resides, he stays in Bedok for all his life and even plans to buy a new house there. He went to NS for 2 years and started working at the age of 24. He has a child and has a wife who is a home mother at around 31. His hobby would be stock marketing and investing.
This is John's annual salary from age 24, the moment he starts working, to age 55, the year he retires. As you can see, from age 24 to 26, John was the top analyst of his company, earning a high performance bonus of 20%. At age 27, John was promoted to associate banking analysis, getting a $6,000 pay raise, as well as a 5% raise in his performance bonus. He was an average associate banking analyst for 2 years, until age 29. At age 29, John's company was doing very well. The profits were up, market shares was growing, and cash flow was strong. To strengthen loyalty among employees, John's employer gave him a $1,000 pay raise. However, that year, John had taken many off-day leaves to take care of his sick father in the hospital. Therefore, his work performance was not as good as compared to the other years. Therefore, his performance bonus dropped. At age 31, John was promoted to vice president, getting an $11,000 pay raise, as well as a 5% raise in his performance bonus. From age 33 to 37, he remained as vice president with the same base salary, but his performance bonus increased by 5%. At age 38, he was finally promoted to senior vice president, getting a $12,000 pay raise and a 5% raise in performance bonus. Performance bonus stayed the same because his attitude towards working had a significant decrease from when he first joined, due to the long hours, and he has to take care of his children, making him feel tired every day. Therefore, performance in his work from age 38 to 55 has stayed around the same over the years, with little to no difference. Hence, his performance bonus also stayed the same. We've calculated how much would go into his CPF account annually. How did we do that? Well, step 1. We calculated his total annual salary for each year, which includes his base salary, performance bonuses, and 13-month bonus. For example, at age 27, he was promoted to associate banking analysis. His total annual salary was $96,000. His base salary plus $8,000, his 13-month bonus plus $24,000, his 25 performance bonus. In total, his annual salary that year was $138,000. Step 2. Find out how much will go into his CPF balance that year by multiplying $138,000 by 37%, which, in return, I will get $47,360. That amount is how much that will be added into his CPF account at age 27. You may wonder, why 37%? And why such a specific number? Well, to answer your question, we first have to break down 37 to 20 and 17%. 20% is how much that will be deducted from one's annual total income, and the 17% is how much that will be added to one's CPF balance by the employer. Step 3. Add $47,360 to $127,550.67. How much was in the CPF balance the year before, which in return I will get $174,910.67. Step 4 is to compound that amount. which eventually I would get $179,283.44. That amount is how much there will be in John's CPF balance at age 27. I repeated the same method for subsequent years until age 55. At age 55, the total amount in his CPF balance is $1,953,160. However, as you can see from the chart, at age 35, John bought his first BTO flat for his kid and wife. It is a 4-room built-to-order flat near the North MRT station, and his flat was fully subsidized because he used his OA account to pay for the housing.
And now for John's OA and SA individual CPF accounts, as we can all see, at the age of 24, he has 35,500 in his OA account, and he has 9,250 in his SA account, making a total of 44,750 in his CPF account. And the amount steadily increases all the way until he's 36 years old, where he bought a house, hence his OA and SA dropped. OA dropped to 52,000 at age of 36 as compared to when he was 35, it was 426,000. For the SA account, when he was 36, it was 13,500, and when he was 35, it was 111,000. So you can see the significant decrease due to his purchase of a house in Bedok. And from 36 to all the way to 55, his OA and SA the amount in his OA and SA steadily increases all the way. And by the time he's 55, his OA is 726,500, and when his SA when he's 55 is 189,250, making a total of 915,750 at the age of 55.
As you can see, this is John's CPF scatter plot graph. The reason why that there are some overlays for how much is in his CPF account for the different ages is because that his annual salary is the same for a few consecutive years, therefore there is an overlay. But overall, John's CPF balance increased over the years, except for age 35, where he bought a house. That's why his CPF balance decreased.
Today, me and Ria is going to talk about Kimberly's retirement plan. I'm going to first talk about Kimberly's consideration. Firstly, she took a poly route. Kimberly studied at local university for 4 years for bachelor's degree. And she started working straight after graduation at 26 years old. Later, she did her 2 years master's at 27 years old. She flight for around 80 to 100 hours per month, and Kimberly got into a car accident and bought a house at the same age, which was 35 years old. Kimberly's hobbies are stated in the slides, as you can see. These hobbies help her with her pilot journey. It helped her to improve the skills which were needed for her pilot journey. She got accepted and selected to work at Singapore Airlines. Kimberly has a private pilot license from Singapore Youth Flying Club, and due to her master's degree, it strengthened her application to SIA, leading to a faster promotion. Her occupation is pilot for Singapore Airlines.
Now I'll be talking about Kimberly's annual salary from age 26 to 55. At age 26, Kimberly was an entry-level aerospace engineer earning $4,200 per month. At age 27, while studying part-time masters, she earned $4,700 per month. At age 28, as she continued her masters, her salary rises from $4,700 to $5,200. At age 29, she joined the SIA cadet program, and her salary was $5,500 plus her cadet allowance, which was $3,500 per month. At age 30 to 35, Kimberly was a commercial pilot for Singapore Airlines. At age 30, Kimberly was promoted to second officer, where she earned $8,000 per month. At age 31, she was promoted to first officer, and she earned $10,500 per month. At age 32, she earned $11,500 per month. At age 33, she earned $12,500 per month. And at age 34, she was promoted to senior officer, and she earned $14,000 per month. At age 35, since she got into an accident and she was on medical leave, so her salary decreased. Therefore, she earned $7,000 per month. At age 36 to 55, Kimberly was a captain and she earned $20,000 per month. Now, I'll be talking about how we can calculate Kimberly's CPF. So firstly, we find the total overall annual salary. Later, we find the 37% of what would go into her CPF account. After that, we add it to the previous year amount. Later, we compound it by 2.5%. Now, we will talk about Kimberly's OA account. So for her OA account, from ages 26 to 35, we take 23% of her CPF amount. And for ages 35 to 45, we take 21% of her CPF amount. And for ages 45 to 50, we take 19% of her CPF amount. And for ages 50 to 55, we take 15% of her CPF amount.
For SA, which means special account, which also can be said as RA, which is retirement account, from age 35 and below, 6% of her salary was taken for SA. And above 35 to 45 of age, 7% of her salary was taken for SA. At age 75 to 50, around 8% of her salary was taken for SA. And at above 50 to 55 age, 11.5% of her salary was taken for SA.
Now, I will talk about Kimberly's scatter plot. So from ages 30 to 55, the amount in her CPF account significantly increases, with the exception of age 35, where her salary decreases due to her medical leave.
We can conclude that John and Kimberly can retire comfortably at the age of 55. As for John, in his CPF account at age 55, he will have $1,953,100.60, which is more than enough to live comfortably in Singapore. But for Kimberly, in her CPF account at age 55, she will have $35,010,959.28, which is definitely more than enough to live comfortably in Singapore. In conclusion, both John and Kimberly can retire comfortably at age 55. I hope this video helps you to understand more about CPF balance and how to calculate CPF, OA and SA accounts.